Jed Johnson here from Diesel Crew. Thanks for checking out my channel today. If you're on my newsletter, this is the video that I told you I'd be shooting today and sending out. But if you're not on my newsletter, you should join. What I'm going to talk about today is a new product that I have coming out next week. And it's called Fixing Elbow Pain. You see, over the years, I've actually had really serious elbow and forearm pain several times. The first time I got it, it was from when I first got started in strongman and nail bending. I started both of these things pretty much at the same time. I was doing a lot of stone lifting, I was doing a lot of bending, and what ended up happening is I got very serious medial and lateral epicondylitis. What this is a problem that takes place at the common flexor tendon that attaches here on what's called the medial epicondyle, and then the common extensor tendon, which attaches here at the lateral epicondyle. So these are also called tennis elbow and golfer's elbow. And this is a very common condition for people, but the thing is, I got them both at the same time, which doesn't always happen. The pain was severe. I could not get through a workout without a ton of anti-inflammatories, and it took a very long time for me to get over that condition. Well, over the years, I've gotten it a few more times. Never both at the same time, but I've gotten conditions in the elbow over the years, and I've always figured out different ways to get rid of it. And these ways also do double duty. So I'm able to use these on a continued basis in order to keep this stuff from coming back. And I haven't had a very serious case of this stuff in quite some time, at least not to the point where it hindered my performance. I mean, it's been so bad in the past that I could not close grippers because I couldn't create any force with my hands. Even though the injury wasn't in my hands, it was at my elbow, it was still causing problems the rest of the way. So like I said, over the years I've gotten much better at preventing this. And I've helped other people prevent it as well. In fact, I include a section of this in each of my products that I put out in order to help people stay safe and healthy. Well, still, over the years, I've been contacted by probably hundreds of people asking about how to get rid of this pain. So I've found that for me, every single time I have to get rid of it, I use a different method because there's always a slightly different problem going on near the elbow. This area, it just seems to be a spot where it's kind of a weak link in the chain, and it can have issues going wrong with it very, very easily. So what I did is, I always wanted to put out a product on how to prevent this stuff. Unfortunately, that doesn't help the people that already have it. So I went and I touched base with someone named Rick Caselch. And he is really world famous for developing programs to get rid of injuries. And what's cool about Rick is he uses methods that do not involve surgery or pills or anything like that. It's all stuff that you can do through the use of exercise, targeting the area properly in order to rehab the injury. So I touched base with him. My specialty is preventing this stuff. His specialty is fixing the stuff once it sets in. So what he and I did is we designed really a two-part product, and it's called Fixing Elbow Pain. And he is covering the rehab part. I'm covering the preventive and prehab part. So what you're going to be able to do is use the stuff in our manual to either fix the problem in your elbow area, forearm area, or prevent it from coming on. So if you're a person that likes to do grip, or strongman, or powerlifting, or CrossFit, or whatever the case may be, if you're really active with resistance training, then you run the risk of developing this issue. So we're going to be able to help you out with that. Also, if you're more of a maybe you're a leisure interest activity type of person. I mean, after all, these conditions are called tennis elbow and golfer's elbow. Tons of people play tennis and golf, so they're putting themselves in a position where they could have this stuff happen, even though it's not that dangerous of an activity, because this stuff generally comes from cumulative trauma. It adds up over time, and gradually you develop a problem. It doesn't happen overnight. So what I want to do right now is I want to show you one thing that I do in order to prevent this stuff. And it's a combination of using a sports type cream and what's called self-myofascial release. Self-myofascial release is a type of massage. And what you're doing is you're targeting the fascia, which is the tissue that surrounds musculature. You see, what happens sometimes is the fascia gets tight, not just the muscle. So instead of just the muscle inhibiting your flexibility, range of motion, and mobility and strength, it's also that fascia, that tissue that wraps around the muscle. So what I do is I use something called a BioFreeze applicator ball. BioFreeze is just a type of cream that is used on your body, and I use this stuff all the time. It comes in packets, it comes in squeeze bottles, but this is my favorite container that it comes in because it's got this applicator ball on top of it. So not only do you get the benefit of the menthol that's inside of this for speeding recovery, but you also are able to apply pressure with the self-myofascial release technique. So self-myofascial release is called that because you're doing it yourself. Highly trained massage therapists are able to do this, and they're able to apply the pressure on the fascia in order to make it relax and also get rid of adhesions that might have taken place in the fascia in order to allow it to move more freely. But with self-myofascial release, you can do it yourself. So not only do you get the benefit of the soothing relief of the cream, but also the pressure. Okay, so the place that I had this most recently was up here in the upper part of my forearm, my elbow area. And I found that this is a spot that can hold a lot of tension. And a lot of times the fascia gets tight, I'm assuming. So what I do, I keep this in my car. So if I'm at a red light, I can open this up. I can just put some pressure on here and just rub it around. If I find a spot where it feels that it's a little bit tight, then I can just put continued pressure there. And I'll hold it there for, 5 to 10, maybe even 30 seconds, depending on what I'm doing. Now, if I'm in the car, I'm not going to be doing this while I'm driving, but if I have this, while I'm watching TV, I've got these stashed all over the house. It's just something that, this was a $10 bottle. I think I got 3 of them or 4 of them for a deal. So I got it at my local chiropractor, and again, it's just a matter of putting pressure here and then a little bit of massage. And I'm telling you, what this does is it really helps release any kind of adhesions in the fascia. It also helps that area relax because you've had a nice relaxing massage before. After all that massage takes place, then the blood rushes in and it just feels so much better. So this is one technique that keeps me free of injury, keeps me performing at a high level. It allows me to not miss workouts like I used to have to when I used to develop this stuff all the time. Thankfully now, I take the time to do my preventive measures. The stuff doesn't set in like it used to, and I don't have to worry about it as much. So what I've done is I put together a manual that has all of the things that I do, all the things that I've done over the years to fix this stuff, and I put it all together for you in a prevention manual for this 2-part product. Rick is covering the recovery portion. So if you've already got this stuff, Rick is going to show you how to get rid of it. My stuff will show you how to keep that away. This is not something that is going to take a great deal of time. I have stuff that I do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and then more of a monthly basis. It's just something that I know I need to do every so often. This is the kind of stuff that is just random, okay? If I feel something coming on, I'll start using it. If I see a bottle, I'll just grab it and use it while I watch TV or in the car. Road trips where I'm not driving, this stuff gets used quite a bit. Those are the best times to use it. Okay, so I hope this information has been helpful. This product was supposed to be coming out this week. We ran into some technological problems, and we should have everything ready by next week. So what you want to do is just make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. If you haven't joined my newsletter, you can go to dieselcrew.com and sign up in the upper left-hand portion of that page. And that will enable you to be on my mailing list so that when this does come out, you can add it to your list of resources that you have for your lower arm training. Now remember, this is not just something for people that do grip. This is something for everybody that trains with weights or anybody that is highly active. A lot of the stuff that I learned and put in the manual was stuff that I picked up while I worked at a meat facility as a safety and training specialist. So this is something that is going to benefit a lot of people. If you know somebody that has developed some kind of issue in their forearm, make sure to send them a link to this video, because this program is going to be something they'll want to see. Thanks everybody for your time, and all the best in your training. Take care.